There's a lot of reasons that the Filioque heresy is totally unacceptable to the Orthodox and has always been a very important matter for us. It has to do with understanding the Holy Trinity. And forgive me, no one understands the Holy Trinity and focuses on the Holy Trinity more than the Orthodox Church. When I was a Protestant and I was visiting the Orthodox services for the first time, what impressed me most was the 100% focus on the Holy Trinity everywhere. Our worship is completely Trinitarian, and the Holy Trinity isn't just a concept, it's reality. It's the way that we relate to God and to His Son and to the Holy Spirit. It's very, very important to understand the Holy Trinity in a deep way because it's the number one theological concern. The revelation of the knowledge of God is the number one thing that God's taught us. It's the most important thing to understand is who is God? Who is our God? What we know, what the Lord has revealed to us, is that God Himself has a co-eternal Son, Jesus, who is in every way God with regards to whatever godness is, right? The quality of the divine nature. Jesus is fully that. What's unique about Christ is that He's the Father's only begotten Son. We learned that incredible truth, which no one could possibly create except through experience, because the co-eternal Son in time became a man and was born as a baby in Bethlehem, and then grew up as a carpenter and began a public ministry at the age of 30, and we touched Him. And we saw Him work His miracles. We saw Him raise the dead. We saw Him crush Satan. You know, until Jesus began His public ministry, the devils tyrannized the human race. People would scream and run from anybody who was possessed. It was exactly reversed. As soon as Jesus began His public ministry, the children that were screaming were the devils. They saw Christ, they were screaming in terror because of who He is. It's one of the most obvious expressions of His divinity was His relationship to the demonic world and their utter, total fear in His presence. So we learned that God has a Son by actually talking to Him.
Right.
And believe me, it took us a long time to figure it out. And He would say things over and over and over again, progressively revealing who He is and His divinity. And the disciples were very much struggling with this. We learned that God has a Spirit who is co-eternal with Him and is equally God with regards to the divine nature, godness, let's call it, because He was sent by Christ and the Father and literally came upon us and indwelt us. And we have been living in His inspiration and His guidance. And we learned by practice that the Holy Spirit is God. So the Holy Trinity is a very practical. It's not something that the theologians got in their room together. Let's come up with an explanation of God. No. This is about revelation, personal experience and revelation of the one true God and of His Son, Jesus Christ, and of His Holy Spirit. This is how Christians know the Trinity, is by experience.